You haven't heard this either. This is perfect. So hold this right
nice and close.
Yeah, it'll kind of get in front a little bit. But like that. Okay, so listen to this. You haven't heard this story.
Oh, I'm excited.
Okay, so Monday morning, I have 6 and 7 a.m. clients.
Yeah.
So I had stopped in here on Sunday, just like briefly, but I came in Monday morning, came upstairs, unlocked, kind of like dropped my shit off and went down for my 6 a.m. client real quick. So I get back up here at like 8:30. And I go to log into that desktop computer and my keyboard, that's exactly like that. So this is for like that TV. I have one on my desk for that computer. The keyboard for my desktop's gone. I'm like, because I go to type in my password and I'm like, oh, no keypad. Like, where the hell is it, right? Yeah. And I noticed that I used to have like a brick, like the old school Apple, like the bigger chargers, right? I noticed that's gone. So I'm like, oh, weird. Like, again, we had this golf tournament, which we'll get to, but I was like, okay, there was some people here late, right? Mm-hmm. And maybe it went missing then. So I called like buddy in. I was like, hey, like who is here? Like what's going, like, just feeling it out a little bit. And it was like everyone we knew. So it wasn't like, that's usually like, there's no way that's a possibility. And then so I'm sitting, I call him and I'm like, wow, shit, my, again, keyboard and like, and then so I check the cameras and I see a guy at 6:30 kind of enter the door downstairs. And then I see someone leave like literally 6 minutes later. So I'm like, oh man, like someone actually like walked up here and like took my keyboard and my charger. Right. And so at the same time, Jade and Tatum are like just getting here, like coming in for the morning for Jade to work out. And so I'm like, no way, like what's going on? And then Jade's like, well, where's your computer? And it had been sitting on my passenger seat like all weekend long. And I'm like, oh, it's in the truck. And then I'm like, no, I remember, so backpedal a little bit. I'm like, oh no, like what triggered me to check the cameras was I turned the computer on in the morning. So I'm like, oh shit, like, no, it was here this morning. I remember logging into this computer real quick at 5:45. So I was like, checked the cameras, saw the guy. Jade gets here at 8:45 and was like, where's your laptop? And I'm like, it's in the truck. And then I was like, no, I remember carrying my coffee on it up this morning. So I'm like, and then it all clued in. Like my iPad was also on my desk. So my iPad, my computer, my keyboard, and that charger are all gone.
Damn.
And I'm like, what? Like that guy came up here and like at 6:30 in the morning while I'm downstairs, while this is like, open obviously, and took all that. So I go on to find my on my phone. And I see my computer is like over on Commissioner, so like 10 minutes away from here or whatever, right? So I'm like, oh shit, like let's go there.
Follow it.
Right? So I'm like, I gotta go because like nothing had like, I had a story previously where like 7-8 years ago where my computer got stolen out of my truck and I actually ended up buying it back from the like crackhead that bought it into Tim Hortons and was like, but you don't know this?
I don't know that story.
Okay, so 6-7 years ago, I got that computer stolen out of my truck. I went down to my truck, I was leaving for the day, forgot my keys upstairs, put it on the thing, was upstairs for 45 seconds. Someone obviously saw me run upstairs, put it in the truck, ran away with it. A couple days, that was like on a Friday. A couple days later, I see it listed on Kijiji. It had like a black skin on my MacBook. So it's like almost one of a kind MacBook, right? I see it, I'm like 100% that's mine. Yeah. The guy wanted to meet me at the Wellington and Horton.
By my
Tim
house
Hortons, like the sketchiest Tim Hortons. It's like only like homeless guys and drug addicts in there, right?
Yeah.
So he wants to meet me there. I actually brought 2 cop buddies with me who waited in the parking lot.
Shit.
Nice.
And so long story short, I go into the Tim Hortons. The guy, this like sketchy dude, pulls out my computer, sit down at the table, all surrounded by just like
bunch of crackers.
bums.
Yeah.
And then he opens it up. I'm like, hey man, this is the deal. This is my computer. You stole it from me. Well, this is what's going to happen. There's 2 cops sitting outside. I'm going to take this. I'm going to walk away. I'll never see you again. You'll never see me again. That's it. So I got that back, right? So so I see this and I don't register that like all my shit's gone. $5,000 worth of gears like stolen. I'm like going to get it because I had got it previously, and that's just like where my head was at. So we're driving. So I call one of my buddies who's a London police, and he's like, just like it's going to be 45 minutes to an hour before like someone gets there. I can't be there right now. Like by then it's like sold or in the garbage or something, right? So he's like, go over there. Like I call Edis. I'm like, he's like, bring some boys with you. And just like be smart, like don't get yourself in trouble and don't do something stupid, right? And I'm like, awesome. Edis is in Toronto, and Jade and Tatum. I made Jade and Tatum wanted to come because Tatum was like loving it. She's like, there's thieves, like she was fired up. She's like, let's go on this mission to get all your shit back, and like she was like fired up. So I'm like, okay, follow in the vehicle behind me in case something happens. At least like Tatum's not like immediately like something happens to me or something not good happens. She can just kind of go around the block or something. So Buddy's like, yeah, bring some boys with you. I'm like, awesome. Jade and Tatum are in the truck behind me, and that's basically
my boy.
like got it.
That's my muscle right there.
So we get to the spot where it's located at, and like right as I pull up there, it dings back to York. So like right around the corner from the gym to the cafe, the bicycle cafe right here, right by like right Pizzeria Mondre, right? So I'm like, I'm going there right now, like obviously. So we're like buzzing through and like getting there real quick. I pull up there, and Jade, I'm like just kind of go around the block. We had a little description of like what the guy looked like and stuff. And so I'm going up. It's like a nice like patio and like
they did it nice.
It's really nice over there, right? Like couple businesses and then the entrance to the new like high rise apartment buildings. And so I'm like, it's like I'm standing on the dot on the Find My. So I'm like, maybe he like ditched it in a bush or something like that. And like there was this one guy standing like around me, but like 100% wasn't him. And so I go into the coffee shop and I'm like, hey, this is really random, but like this is what the deal is. Business is on the other side of the train tracks there. Like it's saying it's in this area. Have you seen anything like weird or like have you seen a guy? And I gave him the description of like it was all like tan kind of like tracksuit with a hat on and a backpack. And they're like, no, but like there is this like guy that was like kind of had a computer and he was like holding it open as if he was like not working on it, but it like he couldn't close it because something was being done on it. And he had a backpack and he's like an older like nicely dressed man. Like he's in the bathroom right now. I'm like, that doesn't sound like him at all. So we're like, well, I'll just wait till this guy comes out. And we're like 2 employees, and the guy that's like sitting having his coffee inside was like kind of a part of the conversation now. And the guy comes out of the bathroom, and right away I'm like, no, that's not the guy. And then we're standing there for like 10 more seconds, and like I'm like, the guy was like, he had like pinstripe dress pants on, but they were like, you can tell that they're like, when you see like homeless people that like nice clothes, but they've been wearing them for 5 years type of thing. He had a backpack on that was like busting at the seams, like tightly done up and everything. And the guy was probably like 60, like bald, like pretty like at first glance like a pretty like fragile guy.
In rough shape.
Yeah, like he was like he probably, I don't know, he either was or wasn't on drugs, but you could tell that like he has been you could tell that he wasn't all there, whether he was on something or not. Probably been kicked in the head a couple times and stuff like that. So he goes outside where there's all these like chairs and stuff, right? And so there's this one lady sitting in the chair, and I'm like, okay, I got to just chill and like feel this out a little bit. There's this one lady sitting in the chair drinking her coffee. She's got like bike shorts on, and like she's probably saying like 50, 60 years old. And he kind of like goes over to like, he sets up his computer and puts his backpack down at one of the tables and kind of just like wandering around, starts talking to her, and is like just making no sense, right? Like talking under his breath, but talking to her. And then I sit down kind of at the table next closest to her, and I'm sitting there like, I'm like, okay, I should make this ding now because I didn't want to make it ding before in case like someone just tossed it out the window knowing someone was like tracking it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, I'll just kind of feel this out for a little bit, try and make it ding, and then he kind of leaves the conversation with her and goes back to his table, which is like behind me. I'm kind of in between them two now. And I go to the lady, I'm like, hey, I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable. Now I don't want to be like her to be like, who's this guy? Like just staring and overhearing, right? I'm like, hey, this guy I think has like 5-6 grand worth of my stuff in my backpack. I just want you to know what's going on, right?
Yeah.
And so she's like, oh man, that's like terrible. Like, okay, like
what do we do?
What do we do basically? And I'm like, she's like, do you want me to go like continue to talk to him to like just keep him here longer? I'm like, no. Like, so she's kind of like standing at my shoulder now. Like, I'm like, okay, ding, like, let's go. So I can like, I wasn't going to go over there and just rummage through his backpack because it's like, you know.
You want to be 100%.
I was 99.9%, but like, so nothing happens. It's like, she's like, how long do these things take to ding basically? And I'm like, I know. And so he kind of like, he didn't catch on what was happening and that, but he's kind of like gets his backpack back on and starts like walking back to like, walking away, right? Yeah. And I'm like, okay, like I gotta go confront this guy. So the people in the coffee shop are like watching, and like that lady's obviously knows what's going on. And I go up to him, and he kind of like turns around and like realizes someone's like approaching him. And I go, hey man, like I want my shit back. Like I didn't even say shit. I was like, I need my stuff back. Wow. I need my laptop back. And he goes, this is not your laptop. This is mine. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Mine's 100%. My stuff's in your backpack. And he like takes like a pause, like a couple second pause, and goes, okay. Takes his backpack off, sets it on like the rock, and I'm there now like, okay, this guy's not going to be hostile or anything like that. And I'm like, dude, what? Like, you better have everything in there, like everything that you took of mine in there. And he pulls out my laptop, pulls out my iPad, pulls out my camera that I didn't even register was gone yet.
Oh shit!
And that was on my desk. Pulls out my charger, and I'm like, man, why are you doing this? Like, what? Like, this could have gone so differently if like I was up here. B, like it was way back when like Kilo was up here. Like, and like again, the police officers that I had called to ask him what to do, like they're like, you know, I'm sure they're just dying to come like kill some time and like. You know, do whatever that guy was in the mood to do. And I'm like, he's like, oh, my medication. And I'm like, no. Like, you came up into my office. You have to go through like 4 heavy doors. It's not a welcoming, like, you know, it's a staircase. You like, even people that have been here before, they're like, what? This is where, there's another door. Oh, there's another door. Or there's another door. And so he takes all my stuff. He gives all my stuff back, and I'm like, man, that never come near that building again, like blah 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 blah. And I wasn't like threatening him or anything like that, but I'm like, you really have no idea how much differently this could have gone for you. If I came with, not that I would, but like if anyone came with a couple of their buddies, like people would have no hesitation just to like jump the guy and take his backpack or something, right? Not, I genuinely wouldn't do that, but like I go back. Jade and Tatum are like waiting in the car on the street. I give them my stuff. I'm like, I got to go back into the coffee shop just to tell them like kind of what's up. And then the lady, she goes, oh, where's your keyboard? I'm like, oh yeah, good point. And so he's already like crossed the street, which is like cross the street. There's like that park, like trail areas, right? And I'm like, I didn't want to like sprint across, and like I for some reason still didn't want to like spook this guy out or whatever, right? Like. And I'm like, he kind of sees me running from behind. He goes, I'm like, man, my keyboard. And he goes, oh, yeah, I'm so sorry.
What?
Stops, pulls out my keyboard. And I'm like, dude, like, that backpack is just loaded with other people's stuff. He's like, I'm like, that computer right there, like, I'm sure you're just, like, restarting it because you just stole it as well. Like, and he's like, no, I bought this morning. And I'm like, okay, man, like, I'm not going to sit here and try and, like, change this guy's thoughts or anything like that. But, and then I, like, walk across the street, like, back, and I'm like, the ladies there, the people at the coffee shop, and I hold up the keyboard. I'm like, yeah, like, it's like a gold medal. And they're just, like, laughing. And I go back in, and the lady's like, well, I can't, like, that's probably the most excitement she's seen, like anyone really. She's like, let me buy you a coffee. Like that was like, I cannot believe how you handled yourself and all this stuff. And like, and the people in the coffee shop were like, yeah, that guy's come in before, like trying to like rent a bike because they like have the bikes there and stuff. And
Man,
That was that. So I had like,
crazy.
and he didn't even like, it wasn't even like, there was no like password attempts on it. Like
Right.
this was like pretty fresh where
just-
like that hasn't been taken out since he put it in his bag
Yeah.
from my office. And like keyboard, like everything, keyboard, iPad. I'm like, dude, there's a iPad pencil with it too. And he's like,
Yes.
yep, right here. And it was like, when I was like my iPad or my keyboard, he was like, genuinely forgot that he still owed me that. And it was just like the most like innocent,
wow.
but like weird thing that like, not innocent, but like weird thing that happened.
It seems like that the guy's doing this literally on an everyday basis.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
like what he does. He just probably walks around, checks doors, walks in.
Well, I was like,
stuff,
the people
and
were like,
just
how do they
goes
get
on
up
with
here?
their
And I'm
life.
like, people are just like, those guys are like professional wanderers. Like,
Yeah.
they're just like, especially up here, like, there's probably a better chance realistically that like he comes up here than like goes in the gym. At least in the gym, he knows like shit's happening in there and
Right.
stuff.
Yeah,
But like
right.
here, if I was up here and I heard someone coming and I like intercepted him, he'd be like, "Oh, yeah, sorry,
Right,
thought this
this
was
is the
Joe's
wrong-
house."
yeah, yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
and then like they just good
But
at like
you probably
talking.
wouldn't
them.
even think about that, right? You'd be like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't mean."
No, I know you would know, like, because I've had people like maybe not like that, but like maybe I don't know. I would have been like, no. Like, I think I know that like people are trying to just like test their luck at how far they can like
how
get
far-
into
yeah,
somewhere,
yeah.
and I got it all back, like basically
That
like,
is
untouched. So
wild.
that's the
That-
second
the
time
fact that you got that
computer's
stuff
been
back,
like
dude.
rescued. That and like
Yeah, like that is insane. I mean, the fact that you got everything back in like mint condition,
and it
like,
didn't even
nothing
like I
happened.
didn't even get to the point where I was like depressed about like having to replace it all. I was like, I'm getting this stuff
Getting
back.
it.
Yeah.
Like it was craziest thing ever.
Yeah.
And that was like all Monday morning by 9:00.
Yeah, I remember this guy never. I mean, you never call me and like.
I'm like, where are you at? He's like, Toronto. I'm like, awesome.
He's like, what are you doing? I was like, man, I'm working. I was like, where? I was like, I'm in Toronto, man. He's like, great, my shit's gone. I was like, man.
It was crazy.
Yeah, that is wild, man. I mean, we got.
I just got to like put that computer like on the wall as like a trophy, like
I know.
retire it
Frame
now.
it or something.
It's
Yeah.
like what, like the thing is, it's like so messed up. It's like, what, like what if you would have been here and he comes in, right? What if like Jade's up here? You know what I
Yeah.
mean, with like Tatum.
Yeah.
You know, or like that. That is so strange. You know what I mean? It's like, so what do you do now? Now you live in like, not in fear, but it's like, do I have to lock my shit?
I even think that like stuff like as simple as like, yeah, I mean, you're downstairs, so like I wouldn't like I'll go out.
Yeah. Yeah,
run to
of
the
course,
store and
yeah.
leave it, right? Like, I
even
never,
when
like-
you go to Tim Hortons.
It's
dude.
pretty
You drive to
safe.
Tim
Like
Hortons
those
and it's
chances
like-
of this happening are probably again because it's like one door, stairs, two doors, three doors, four
Right.
doors. Like,
Yeah.
and they're not like they're heavy doors
Yeah,
with like
yeah.
visible keypad locks on them and stuff. And it's like
Yeah.
I even think that like if he heard anything or heard a TV on or something like that, he'd been like, you know, he
Gone.
wouldn't have pushed his luck.
Yeah, because
but,
there's
like,
literally like 4 doors out there. It's
Yeah.
like, which one
Yeah.
do I pick?
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Even
come
people
in.
coming up here where I tell them, they're like, "Oh, this seems like you
I was
know."
confused today coming in.
Yeah,
all the doors
and you've been
closed,
here,
like,
yeah. I know. So it was like, it was wild. Again, that was Monday morning,
Man, the fact that you got it back, it's like awesome.
and that's
yeah,
like
so-
that's $5,000 worth of stuff. Buddy would have sold for $50.
Yeah,
or
no,
something,
100%.
like,
That's yeah.
It's
The
it was
adrenaline
like
was probably
That's the
crazy
worst,
too.
man.
Like,
it was it. I was like I was very calm and like
yeah,
polite to him. Like I wasn't like, you know, the guys like the cop is like
You
bring
didn't just-
something with you, and I'm like, dude, I am not like
Yeah,
putting my engaging,
Yeah.
let alone like. But even in that situation, if like that guy would have ran, like
So you have to.
I
run
would've
after him.
chased
You have
him,
to,
like-
100%.
Tatum
Pull
would have
a
been like,
hamstring.
"Go get him, Dad!"
falling out the window.
And then last funny is like I had a client at like 11 that day, and Tatum was like kicking around in the gym still.
Yeah.
And I start to tell the story, and like you know, she like no, dad, I got this, like basically, and like told him the story like
Exactly
verbatim,
like it
like
happened, yeah.
exactly like it happened, and it was just like, yeah, you can't make that stuff
Yeah, the
up.
fact that you got it back, I mean, it's the worst. It's don't like, we've gotten tools stolen off job sites so many times, and you never get it back.
No, never,
It's,
like-
it's gone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
like
even if you get stuff out of your truck stolen, like it's long gone.
Oh,
This was just like
it's-
a miracle that
yeah.
like
like people will pull up, even like not necessarily crackheads, but people will like even on a bicycle, they'll see like a tool on a skill saw or something. You're working at the front, and they'll just pick it up, boom,
They're
gone.
gone, yeah.
Well,
By the time you come back out of the house or whatever, and it's like, where's my stuff? And it's just like, what are you gonna do?
Yeah.
Even the cops that are like the OPP guy that was here today, that's a member, he was saying like it's tough because like obviously they want to do something, but like it takes them 45 minutes and then or whatever to get here, and then they're like they'll take them in and stuff, and then they're like, we don't have time or like room for this.
Exactly.
Like,
I mean,
so it's
and all this.
That's why those guys go and do it, because they know that like even if they get caught, they're just gonna be out in like
well, that's
3
the
hours
thing, exactly.
anyways.
They'll be like, oh, sorry, and then what are you gonna do? Like, okay, you go out, wait till you get called into court. You know what I mean?
Yeah, if that. Like, there's gonna be like, there's nothing that's gonna be.
Nothing changes. Yeah.
Wrong. So it was like, yeah, it was crazy.
Well, that's it. That is a crazy story. The fact that you got it back, I mean, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I know.
And you tracked it too. It's like,
know.
I got it.
I know. And it was like, it pinged way over there, and then like, boom, right like around the corner. So he must, like, it wouldn't be, I can almost guarantee he was over there. And then like, somehow, like, who knows?
Does it makes a noise, or what does it do?
No, you just like see it like a tracker on it updates every like time it gets close to Wi-Fi or something, and then you can ping it.
Oh, okay.
But I didn't want to ping it because like unless I know it's right there to prove something, then like it's just gonna sketch the guy out, and he's gonna just throw it out the car window or smash it or something.
I know, like when you were saying it's like, all right, he puts his backpack down, I was like, man, like, is he just gonna take it out and just like toss it or smash it against it?
Okay. You caught me basically, like it's right here. And I'm like, man, you have no clue.
That's the thing. It's like, you know, and like it all depends on the person too, right?
Yeah.
It's like this guy doesn't know how lucky he is, the fact that you came, you know, composed and just like relaxed. Whereas then like some other dudes might be crazy, and it's like,
not even like just. I'd say like just regular tempered dudes would go with 3 guys, 4 guys, and beat the guy up and take his backpack 100%. And go. Like,
100%.
It's crazy, but
and
it's
the
also,
chances of that happening is most likely than like the way you handle it.
I think so.
100%.
Yeah,
like,
I agree.
you know, so it was like,
because it's like, I mean, I would think to myself, man, like, if I catch somebody stealing my shit, dude,
I know.
I don't know.
I was just in preserve mode where I wanted my shit back. Like, the data, the whatever, you could always buy more, but the data, it's like, if everything's backed up, you're still going to be missing some shit. Like, it was.
Yeah, it's really hard to say what happens in a situation like that, right? It's like how you handle it, but it's like, I don't know, man. Like the chances of somebody stealing my shit, and like, I don't. It's hard to say, right? How do you approach it? How do you deal with it? Like, cause it's like we got so much shit stolen from us that it got to a point where it's like, dude, if I catch anyone, dude, like.
Yeah,
you know, it's like, because it's like, it's going out of my pocket. I work for that shit.
It was probably that guy was like, he was probably 60. Like, if it was some like, young, whatever, even middle age, like this guy was visibly older, like not frail, but definitely like wasn't running anywhere anywhere anytime quick.
No, I mean, good for you. Good for you.
Wild.
Yeah, that's insane. What a like Monday, you know?
Start off
it's
your
like
day.
Monday, baby. Here we go.
And I was like, again, we had a party up here, so it's like, so shit's never been taken. I usually have pretty good judgment, like who's up here and stuff, and still no, knock on wood, like that's still not the case that anything happened up here during that time, but it's crazy. So the golf tournament.
Yeah, let's talk about that,
Let's do it.
So you're gonna I don't know. Is it a legitimate win?
Of course.
100%.
Yeah, has to
I don't
be.
see why wouldn't be.
And Nate won the long drive, and
Nate won the long drive and the closest to the pin.
Both.
Yeah.
How wild was that?
Cleaned up.
Yeah.
it was crazy because we were the first group. We put both of them up, right?
Yeah. And
like,
we're picking them up at the end.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're the last group.
And we put the long drive was like, oh, this is a good one.
Yeah,
like,
I knew
if
that
anyone
one had a
catches,
chance.
if there's no wind where at the time where Buddy's hitting, then they could maybe go. It was the first hole where it was right in the face.
Yeah.
And we're like, okay, this was the bomb, but like
If the wind
if it-
switches,
if it
someone can
switches, yeah.
easily.
And then
And
the-
it's like you got to make that just over that lip
And
so
then
it
it
rolls
rolls.
down. That's
it barely made it.
And then the
there.
closest to the pin, we were like, "Oh, feels silly even
I'm
putting
like, yeah,
this
we'll
here."
put it here, but
Like
next
100%,
group's gonna
someone's gonna
take
get
it.
close because he was only on the green by like 2
An
inches.
inch. Yeah.
Your dad came so close.
Really?
Man. Yeah. Oh, he was probably a foot away.
I even think that someone in our group was
Yeah.
actually closer, but they
Honestly-
they were on the fringe.
on
Yeah,
the
I don't know if
fringe,
it was pretty
it
close,
was
but like
maybe like not even 6 inches. Like
Yeah.
from the fringe, and we're like,
Yeah.
"Oh, there's no way that no one's gonna
Yeah.
someone's gonna
Yeah.
beat this," because it was
Nobody
like,
did, man. And I remember because Randy was in front of us, and we saw them shoot.
Yeah,
Closer, and there's like people were shanking it. One guy just like came so short or whatever, so it was like it wasn't even close, right? And then it's like, all right, we're the last group, so it's like everybody's taking an attempt. I'm completely short. I'm in the long grass where it's just like
yeah, that's
looking
where
for,
mine
like,
was.
yeah. And then it's like Tom goes and is like he nails
Imagine
it.
he won. That would have been good.
Yeah,
but
that
I
would've
mean,
been-
next best is my partner.
Yeah,
Obviously, but
and
like,
then Jake goes over there and he's like, fucking Nate, he won both. Yeah, he was like unbelievable, right? It was just like, oh, it was great. But we should do that again.
I think those rules are perfect. Like, I don't know
Yeah.
what we'd change. 9 holes, like just match play, scramble, and then reset after 9.
Yeah.
I think the closest, the taking 4 drives of each person was like huge.
I love that rule.
Like, and
That
every
is-
single
that is
person.
awesome. It
Ev-
screwed me up a little bit,
Yeah.
whatever. But it was.
But
like,
every single
yeah.
person was like, "This is going to be a shitty rule," and
Yeah.
it turned out to be like
No,
one
it
of
was
the best
awesome.
rules.
It was
Like,
awesome because it levels the playing field as well.
Yeah.
a little bit.
You have to be
because-
more strategic.
Right.
yeah,
for sure.
100%. You
Exactly.
got to think about
Yeah.
where, like, whose ball you're taking.
And then someone mentioned that's another cool rule that I hadn't heard before was like either whether it'd be you can switch drives. So like on a certain hole, like if you like you can
yeah.
take your
Yeah,
partner's drive or your
The
opposing team's
opposing
drive.
team,
So
yeah.
if they crush it and you need to win the hole, like they get to re-tee, but like you get to
You
take their
can take
drive.
Yes.
And like I think having both reverse mulligan and that, like maybe
One or
front
the
nines
other.
drive, back
Okay.
nines reverse mulligan or something, but
Mm.
or like one you can't use them both on the same 9 or
Yeah.
something. But that was a good rule,
Yeah.
and like the playoff was awesome,
The playoff was awesome. Not necessary.
100%.
not necessary, but I mean,
Not
I had a good time. I was a little nervous, but
Oh, so I've never felt like that on a golf course.
no, it's
like,
weird having
it was-
people watch it like
It's
that.
because you're like, it's like this is it. You
Yeah.
guys like it's on you.
Yeah.
Essentially, it's like on. And who decided to make it? Because it was like pick 2 guys from each team, and then I don't know if you or Jake said, but pick the guys that you already played with. So you can only pick like your partner.
Yeah,
that
like
you play
we
with.
didn't talk about it at the beginning of this year what the rule was because last year I remember us saying like me and Jake saying like okay it'll just be a playoff me and you like
Yeah.
one-on-one captains
One-on-one.
basically
Yeah.
like
And I
just
thought
go.
that was going to be the case.
And then he was like pick 2 guys and then I was honestly just like no I'm calling like dibs like I want to play in this
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it probably like Eric and Scott like Eric's better so maybe it would have gone but like at the end of the day it didn't matter anyways but I was like oh no I want to play in this
Yeah.
Yeah. And then it was either a putt off too. I think at some
Yeah,
point it was
that-
like
That's just
but
not
I
as
think
fun.
that's not
You
as-
got to
yeah.
play a hole.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Get a
hole
winner.
is the way to go.
and just like
100%.
8 carts just like ripping back
Oh,
around
Yes.
and like going
Yes,
and
you
like
don't see that anywhere.
No,
man.
it
Like,
was weird.
Yeah, the fact that we just went on and it's just like 8
and like
cards.
we knew so we won before the playoff hole like we knew that too like we knew
I think it was
I don't know.
just some miscommunication
Yes.
from your group and then everyone else because
Yeah.
we were
someone
like
was like, "Oh, it's for the tie. It's for the tie." And I think everyone just thought the whole match.
because we knew that all our team needed to do on that last
Was
hole was
tie.
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 So we knew that if you
Yeah.
tied, we won. But then,
I think-
which you tied, and then everyone was like, "Oh, it's a tie,"
It's a
and then it was
tie.
just like
Right, 'cause-
adrenaline.
and
Okay,
then
first
everybody-
playoff,
yeah,
like,
everybody
let's
was
go.
go.
And then it was just pure excitement, so no one even thought of it. And then
Yeah,
like,
we're all just like,
Because
"All right,
everybody's
let's go."
like ripping up back to the clubhouse,
Yeah.
right? Go to the first hole.
Yeah.
And it's like nobody said anything. It's like, all right,
No.
the discussion right away started is like, how are we going to do this? Who's playing, right?
Yeah.
And it's just
Yeah.
like, let's go.
We're
Go
going.
down to the
No,
first-
No one was stopping us either way.
Honey. Yeah, that was like, but good thing it happened because like even now how much excitement that was, there should almost be like whether there's a tie or not. I think there should be like, do you guys want to double down or like
Oh, yeah,
an
yeah,
extra
yeah, yeah.
Something like that,
an
like,
extra
off the
bonus
stakes.
to
Yeah.
like some sort of 3-hole playoff or
Yeah.
a whole playoff
Just
or something.
Wager some of the
I'm sure
teams'
we'll figure it
winnings or
out.
something.
And then we were sitting in the park. We were standing in the parking lot about to leave
And I don't know who came up with that too. How did the conversation start?
because I think I don't know. I think we were
counting
like
up the scores, and then you were saying like, I think it was you were talking. You're like, yeah, we won the front and then tied
Yeah.
the back, and I'm like,
then that
then
makes
it's
it
over.
this.
Like,
Then it's
am I
over,
like
then we
losing
won.
it or?
Because I kept track the whole time, right? Because I was
Yeah.
like texting you,
Yeah.
and you're
Yeah.
like, all right, like we lost, right? And then we catch up to Randy's group, and we're like, how you
Yeah.
guys doing? It's like, oh, we lost the front or whatever. Then we see your brother or whatever, and he's like, oh, we already won.
Yeah.
And I was like, so what do you mean? He's like, yeah, we won the front and,
And
the
we were
back.
the same way. We
Yeah.
won on the 16th
16th,
hole.
it was over.
Yeah.
And so like you and Dad were like the
This-
team that
yes.
made us win.
Yeah.
Essentially, that's the way it
100%.
went.
Closers.
And the
Because mostly because the front nine was somewhat of an upset, I think, for you guys. Like that was like you guys up like won, and you weren't
the
supposed
upset.
to.
Yeah, we weren't supposed to, and even the back. So it literally came down to the last holes on the front nine, and the back nine, and like off the bat, Jake and Vandy go 1-0. So first hole,
Yeah.
right? And then we keep tying, and then we get to the hole before the long drive
Yeah. With the
competition or whatever. I
silo.
think it was like, yeah, right there. So right there we play it perfectly. So we get onto the green, and I make a crazy putt. I think it was like a 12-foot putt downhill, like the ball's like
Yeah.
like literally breaking or whatever. It goes in, boom. I was like, it's a fucking tie. Let's go, Tom. And then Jake is like, I'll reverse mulligan that. So right there, like he's like, man,
But
like
then
what
what,
the
did you
hell?
make
know
it
what I mean?
again?
No, then I didn't make it,
Yeah.
right? So then all this time is 1-0, dude. Like they're going up like 1-0. So we keep on tying all the holes until the 8th hole. On the 8th, what happened on the 8th? How did we tie that? I don't know how we
Yeah.
tied the 8th, but we tied the 8th, and then on the 9, this was wild on the 9. I remember this vividly because your dad, so we play it, your dad hits this massive, probably like 80 yards out, and he gets it within like a foot, like a
Oh,
gimme range
shit.
pretty
Yeah.
much, right? So it's like, that's it. These guys are like, Jake is like probably like, say, like 12, 13 feet away. So Vandy goes, misses. So they got to make this to just tie.
Yeah.
Just tie, right? Because it's like, and then Jake's like, yeah, if we tie, we just get 50, like 0.5
each,
each, right? So Vandy goes over there, like misses. Jake's on, boom, makes the putt. Tom and I look at each other, reverse mulligan. Let's
Nice,
go, yeah.
nice.
And then they miss it and you
then
win.
they miss it and we won. So and
That's
Jake,
huge.
both of them, they were so pissed. I mean, I love you, Jake. You know what I mean? It's like, but it's like,
Yeah, for sure.
he was pissed.
Yeah.
And then they came out blasting. So it's like right away there, it's like 10th hole, they came blasting. So this is what happens. So your dad already had 4 drives.
Yeah.
So now I had to start taking my drives or whatever, right? So on the 10th hole, I was like, because after that, I was like, Tom, dude, we won. So even if we lose this back 9, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
We're tied. We lose
Did
one.
your thing,
we
yeah.
we did our thing, whatever. You know. So I was like, screw it, whatever. I rip one down. It goes nice, but it hits some hazard or whatever. So it's like, all right, like we'll play it. Your dad hit a perfect drive. We could have played his
Yeah,
ball,
yeah.
but we're like, you know what, Tom? Let's just use mine and then go from there,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
We can do it. We play the hole out. They go like we suck. They 1-0, right? They're like they're on fire. Hole 11, same thing. We're using my drive. They go up 2-0. 13, 3-0.
Yeah.
Like straight up, they went back to back to back, and at this point, Tom and I are like, whatever, man. Like,
Yeah.
who gives a shit, right? We get to the 14th hole. I rip it. We go up 3-1. So Vandy on that first 3 holes, Vandy was like killing it. Like they were like him and Jake, they were like on fire.
Yeah.
Then Vandy goes down, like starts shanking. I start going up. Like
That's where we
like,
started doing good too,
Yeah.
and like how because I started hitting the ball drives good.
Yeah.
So like we went in the last like 4 holes with like, oh, we could use whoever's drive now.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
was
and then it
huge
was
for
just
us.
like,
Exactly,
oh, it's game
right.
over.
having
So-
some freedom.
Right,
Yeah.
and then after that, it was like that's it. Then I was like, because I used one of my drives actually at the front 9 or whatever, so I had those 3, and the 3 that I took, so 10, 11, 12. Those were my last 3 drives that I used, and after that, it was like we can use anyone's drive.
Yeah.
Right, and then once that release happened, I started smacking the balls.
Yeah.
It was like, man, this is Tom's like, holy shit, like we like, and they're
Yeah.
like behind, like shooting. Then it was like, so that was hole, so 10, 11, 12. Then we go 3-1 on 14. On 15, there's that par 3, I think, that you
Yeah.
did it over the hill. So Vandy goes, sticks it like nice. Jake, I think, fucks it up. I stick it. Like it was like
Yeah.
nice. Your dad goes, he's off. Because your dad is like, Edis is playing
Checked
good right
out,
now.
yeah.
He's like, yo, we're good, you know? So we get on that hole. I birdie that hole. So your dad's like, man, I'm not even gonna do anything anymore, right? So it's like I birdie that hole, and we go up 3-2. So that was, now we're on 16, I believe, 16,
Yeah.
17.
Yeah.
We tie 16, 17. Now it's down to 18. 18. We play. We tie 18. So we're like, man,
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
going into 18. We're tying this right
Yeah.
now, and we tie it. And then we get to 19 where like the controversy happened. Actually, no, you know what? On 18, let me. So we're
18.
playing.
There's only 18.
Sorry, on
But,
17. On 17, when we did the tie, there was, I gotta say, a little bit of controversy happening because we were using closest to a pin, and our rules were we're using the putter's length.
like for gimmies.
For gimmies.
Oh yeah, we didn't do.
Yeah.
But that's just like.
So
you gotta
we
agree,
figured
yeah.
our group out, and we used the putters, right? So it was funny because like we hit it, and Vandy goes measures with his putter,
And it's not.
and it's short.
And you use yours or something.
Yeah,
it's
and
long
your
enough.
dad uses his, and I was like, "Yo, wait up, let me put mine." And I put mine down, and it was like, boom. And then that was the 17th, right? And then I was like, they missed the putt, so we got the tie. And I told them, I was like, dude, like, you guys want us to take it? We'll
Yeah.
take it, just to like, cause
Yeah,
it's gonna,
you don't want
you
to
know.
be like, yeah.
And they're like, no, it's good. So we go down to 18. It's a big par
Yeah,
5.
yeah.
We both have mulligans left. So we both have mulligans left, right? I smack it, it just flies like somewhere gone.
Yeah.
You're not finding that. I was like, all right. Tom's like, I got this, Edis, right? We're good. He smacks it in the woods somewhere, it's just gone. And we're like, fuck.
Mulligan. Or,
Mulligan.
Yeah.
I rip it. Boom. Like this one goes like, it was probably my best drive of the
Yeah.
day. It flies down. Those guys drive. They're way back. And then I was like, Tom, we got to be careful here because there's water on the right.
I know. That's what we're all
Right?
watching now.
Yeah.
Like,
So it's
yeah.
like, and it's like water's on the right. So, and he's like, I think he took a 3-wood, dude. And I was like, I don't know, man. You know, like he's like, I'm just going to do nice and easy, right? I shanked mine. So it's like on him. He smacks the 3-wood. And I was like, I see the ball bounce and it was like gone. And it's literally right there
Right
where
at
we
the water.
were,
Yeah,
right
yeah,
by
yeah,
the water,
yeah.
right? And I was like, oh my God. It's like, if this is gone, then that's it. I mean, we have to drop. And those guys are back. They're shooting the hit. Like, and we start walking. We get there, the ball is there. He used this red ball, right?
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
like
yeah,
you could
yeah.
see it. It's like it's right there, a foot away from
That
the water.
was sick to have like everyone pile up
watching,
on the
too.
18 and like.
Yeah, that was
watch
all.
and, like,
But you know how much pressure that
I know.
became
Yeah, I
too?
do because
Yeah,
we
we
did this
felt
playoff
that.
hole. Like,
Yeah.
So it's like, so we get there. they shoot first, right? Vandy hits it, and it actually goes onto the green where
Yeah,
they're
yeah,
essentially going to shoot from. Everybody's cheering, Jake, 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 let's go. Jake, boom, water, right? It's like, so it's our turn. I go.
You guys both fuck it up.
We both fucked it up. I shoot, and it's like I see it go over there into the woods.
Yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever,
yeah,
right?
yeah. And then he comes out of the woods and like pitches it right on the green. Even that was like controversy,
exactly.
right? Like,
so it's like Tom goes, hits it in the water, and I was like, Tom, we're playing that ball. I saw it bounce,
Yeah,
so
yeah, yeah.
there's gonna be
we all did
The
too.
whole team went over
Right,
to
yeah,
I
find
was
it.
searching for it.
Right, so it's like we get over there, we search for it, we find it, and then the controversy starts because they're like, you can't take that shot from there, and then we're like club length away.
Yeah,
Gibson
yeah.
is like, use a driver, longest club,
And
get
if
it out
rolls
there.
down, rolls
Get
down.
it down.
And then like one of the, I don't know who was like holding the leaves back. And they're like,
Scott.
you can't hold the leaves back.
Yeah.
Okay, leaves the whole, and Dad just like
He's still
puts
in
it
there.
like 5 foot.
Yeah,
5
and
foot
with
away.
the putter down the
Yeah,
hill.
just like nice little like.
Because
roll
when
out.
I
Shot of the
hit it
day.
out, it came to a sprinkler, so it's like I get relief there, right?
Yeah,
so
yeah,
it's
yeah,
like,
yeah,
so
yeah.
that was a bonus, and then your dad just comes in, bam,
Beautiful
like,
shot. Insane.
and that was it. Because then we're like, so as we're coming in, it was like, this is for the tie, right? That's what we're saying. Well, everybody then essentially thought, oh
Yeah.
shit, they
Whole
tied the
match.
hole.
Which they did, but it meant we didn't tie. Like we still won.
Why?
Exactly,
But everyone
because
thought it was
they got
tie
a
for the
point
match.
5.
But
and
I
we got
think
point
that
5.
how it played out and how we figured it out was fair too. Like,
Yeah,
give their 2 playoff
Yeah.
guys their money,
Yeah.
and then we
Right.
split the rest.
Right.
Like, that's still.
I
good.
think that
And,
was
like,
fair.
100%. Those guys deserved it.
Yeah.
And like for context too, like this is like Pizza Project or Wendy's versus Showtime. Like
Right.
8 last year was 6 versus 6. This year is 8 versus 8. So we'll probably add another
Next
2
year.
guys this next year and just like keep it small and keep it growing and like
Yeah.
and then come over here after and like
It was insane. I like honestly like our group, like I don't want to say or be biased or anything, but like our group probably was the tightest group. It was so close.
ours was on the front. Ours was too until like
Yeah.
the last couple holes where we like pulled away a
Yeah,
little
the
bit.
front 9 was, it could have went either way.
And we
honestly.
should have like we
It came down
should
to
have
one
for
shot.
sure. Like,
Like-
yeah, that was so like this was our deal break time was like on
Hole
that
8.
closest to the pin. No, it was the next par 3.
Number 8, I think.
Number 8
Yeah.
where it's the long. It seems like the long par
Yeah.
Long part
Like
3.
185.
Yes, I know
and
that
they
one,
had
yeah.
used. So it sounds like you guys only used 4 per 18
For what?
drives per 18.
Yes.
So we did each 9.
Oh.
We did
4 and
per
4, and then
9.
someone else gets an extra one.
Then-
I think
so,
that's
yeah.
how most people did it.
Oh.
That's
Which
how
makes
we
it
did.
way more like think about how much strategic you had to use. That was like
You had
so
to
in the
double
in the
it.
beginning.
Yeah.
I was fucking up, and then so driving wise, and we were
Yeah.
like, oh man, like I got to really come in clutch now and just get it on the
Yeah,
like,
I
not
think-
lose it.
Yeah.
So on
Yeah.
the 8th hole, like it was, I think they were up. No, they were up 1.
They were up 1.
No, or 2. They were up
1,
2.
Up 1.
Because I don't. Was there a point that we could win the front 9 though? I think the most we could do was tie it.
Okay, yeah, they were
So
up 2.
they were up 2.
Yeah.
And they had so we were on the long par 3,
Yeah.
8, and then 9.
Yeah.
They had 0 drives left of buddies, and Ludwig had just been shanking it
All day long.
and
off
then
the
that's
tee.
when he makes it.
And he steps up to the par 3, and we're like, "Oh, we
Stripes
got
it
this."
right
Even if
onto
we
the
fuck
green.
up our drive, like I think one of us put it like in the. We were both
We
in the
were
bunker,
both in the green
so we're
side
like, we're
bunker.
fine
So-
either way.
Yeah.
So he comes and puts it on the green,
Just to.
and then he drains like the 20-footer.
Yeah.
So he single-handedly birdied 8,
Wow.
and that put
By
them up
himself.
3. And we're like, oh, we like it
That's
could have
it.
gone tie, and like that was the only 2 putts,
Yeah.
2 shots all day together that he
Wow.
put together, and we're like. I guess hypothetically we could have used the
the
reverse mulligan then.
especially with how the back 9 went.
Yeah, 'cause we
probably
kinda, like-
should've.
yeah.
But at that
You
time,
don't
you have
know.
no idea,
Yeah.
right?
So
we had held
you
on.
guys also used on par 3s like like that
Yeah.
was counting
Yeah.
towards your thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well,
Alright.
you would have to if you did it
Every
for 9.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Like if so, you had to use 50-50
And then an
drives, and then
extra.
one person gets 1 extra, basically.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
So the way we did it, we only did it driver. That's it. On par
Oh, okay.
3s, we didn't care.
I guess Jake was in your group, so he would have known if that
No,
wasn't
no.
the way to do it. But I think per
I think
9's the way to do it.
Everyone, like I think most
Yeah.
people did it.
Like,
maybe
dude,
not,
I was
don't
so
know.
relieved when it was like I thought it was a per 9, but we only use drivers. We never, like Jake said, we don't count it on par threes. It doesn't it doesn't matter.
Oh, shit.
Good to know.
Yeah. So
I think
I liked how it played out.
I would like to do it our way.
Yeah, I think
Because
so.
like that's like if you use
four. You're like when you're on the tee block.
for 9 holes. For 9 holes, 4, and then one of us
4.
gets an extra one.
An
whoever's
extra
is
one.
better.
Okay.
And man, it like the pressure when
Yeah. I mean.
first 3 holes we took 3 of my drives, so it was.
And then almost like vice versa on the other way.
Yeah,
on the back
you
9,
started-
I started hitting it well.
And I wasn't
And then
hitting
we're
it
like,
good.
oh, like we didn't get to the point where, like, on the last 3 holes, we could take whoever's drive,
which was
Yeah,
perfect.
interesting.
which
yeah.
would like really helped us. But
Yeah, for us, we only, like I said, I mean, we used the drivers only. So if it was like a par 4, par 5, and those were the only ones that were counting. And right away off the bat, your dad is like goes up 3-0. And I'm like, dude, now I gotta like literally
all of
like
them.
take all of them, right?
yeah, but like, how does that even make sense? Like, why would it even matter if you still had like
because if
at
he
any
goes,
point through the rest of the 18, you just have to make sure you take the 4 of yours.
right? But it was only for drivers. Like my drive, I would shank the ball and it would disappear, and we'd have to take a drop,
Yeah,
right? But if it was
I
on
think
like
for 9 is better
Yeah, I like that.
because you got to be more strategic.
gotta
that
think
way.
about
100%, yeah. And but if we do per 9, then we'd probably have to, like the way we played it, we'd have to take the par 3s as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you would have to because
Yeah,
otherwise there wouldn't be
100%,
enough
yeah.
holes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. And that's what confused me, because then Jake's like, no, per 18. And I was like, oh, this is great. We just won 9. We used Tom's
Yeah.
drives or whatever. So it's like, now let me start. We used 1 of mine and we used 3 of Tom's.
I don't think there was any other rules that like didn't make like that. I don't know. I wouldn't
So
change
the only-
much of it other than just get like clear.
And then with the reverse mulligan, it was the option either you take the reverse mulligan or you get 2
mulligans.
Mulligans,
An extra
yeah.
one.
Yeah, an extra one.
I don't
yeah.
know if anyone did that. Like, I
No,
think everyone
reverse
used
mulligan
the
is like
mulligan's
the-
huge.
Yeah.
Like the way when we used that, it was like, I mean, yeah, sure, Jake used it at a good
I can't
time.
even. I know we used it. I can't remember where we
It was
used
to
it.
seal it on 16, that par 3. Because
Oh, yeah,
and
yeah.
they had that nasty flop shot to like
Yeah,
6
yeah,
feet.
and then he-
like,
and then he-
an insane like 40-yard
Yeah,
flop,
to
and we're
tie,
like,
and then
yeah,
we
redo
gave it to
that.
him,
Yeah.
and then he put it too far that he didn't make the putt.
Yeah.
We made the putt or something like that.
Yeah, it put away the
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
true.
mean, for us, it was it couldn't get better. I mean, the only way Jake would, if he would have went back to back, and it was close. He got close.
I think all the teams were super good match.
Yeah,
Yeah.
matched.
And like almost keep it. Like I don't think there could have been better matchups. So even
No.
if 90% of the teams are the same next year,
I told Jake,
You
I
gotta
was
keep
like
it
in
the
Vandy,
same.
you guys, we're doing this next year,
Yeah.
same teams,
Yeah.
like straight up,
I would
because
love
it was
to play
like
those
neck
guys
and neck.
again. But I know that like 2 of Jake's like solid guys had to bail.
Mm.
So like there's like the 2 of the guys that played the first year, Cutters, and the other guy, right?
Yeah,
the guy
yeah,
you
yeah,
have
yeah.
the cigar cutters.
Yeah,
And then
I
the other
brought them
guy.
with me.
They had
I still
the
have
same
them.
wedding or something, so they both and like I'm sure they would both want to, but maybe then if Jake can get the same guys out, then he just adds those 2 in those.
As
too.
those,
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it was like
No, that was awesome. It was such a great day, and the weather was perfect too. It was windy at the beginning. The first like 4, you're going with the wind.
Yeah.
Your
And then-
dad was crushing it, dude. Like I'm not even exaggerating. He was crushing it. Jake's like, "What the hell is going on here?" Like
hilarious.
280-yard drives, dude. I'm like, "What, Tom?"
that's
Straight.
nice.
It's just that like nice and easy go.
And that's it.
Yeah.
It. No effort, man. Like it's so effortless. It was awesome. It was a good time. The weather was great. Yeah, the wind died down towards the end,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
it was good.
And then to come here after is just like bonus
Right.
and everything.
100%.
Bonus. The darts, man. We played a lot of
Played
darts.
a lot of darts. I learned how to play darts. What's that game called? Cricket?
Cricketeer.
That's like that's like darts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I played a lot of that.
Because
No one was
I
like-
didn't know how to play
It was
that.
better
either.
than last year too. Like not that it matters, but like no one was like last year guys couldn't even get off the first second tee block.
Oh
With-
yeah,
like-
people came prepared last
Like
year.
but I mean like, you know, like
yeah, just like done.
they were like came hammered.
Oh yeah.
And this year like I think it was just like I don't know.
I felt like this year, in our group, the way we played it, it was like it was.
You didn't really have
intense.
time to like.
Yeah, and there wasn't like last year we had those shots, right?
And it was like the first time. Like this year, like it's now gaining a little bit of like credibility and
Yeah.
stuff. Like,
Yeah. People want to win, man. With
That's essentially.
well,
it,
it's
right?
big. It's a big
Yeah.
swing. You go
Yeah.
from like getting your whole day paid for and a little bit of money
yeah,
to like not. So it's like to have a whole day like that essentially for free is like worth like.
Well, yeah,
you know.
and it feels good. I mean, it does.
Yeah.
Obviously, winning feels great.
I
You
so
can't
that see
deny
that trophy up there.
Yeah.
that's Van. So I gotta get one.
for the Showtime.
Yeah,
Wendy's.
100%. Yeah.
Did you guys do this tournament? That he
It's
didn't
actually
have it?
so Vandy I think is in, so he didn't have it scheduled again this year. I think I'm not close with them or anything, but I think I got a text message on Monday
Oh, okay.
and was like, "Yo, September 21st." And so I think he played in this and was like, "What am I doing? I got to do mine again."
Yeah.
So that is on September 21st.
That's
that
awesome.
tournament, but that's like a 4-man best scramble, so it's like all by scores, not like match play and stuff, and like.
Scores is tougher though. I think.
Match
don't
play
know.
is so much better. I
It's-
think
'cause you
like,
don't
you can
keep
keep
track.
games closer
Yeah.
with match play.
Yeah.
you blow up one hole. It's like, but then
And-
at the same time, if there's more groups, then like it
If
does
you
make
play
sense.
too much match play, everyone's just gonna tie. And
Yeah. And
Yeah.
if you have like, if eventually you have 20, 30 people,
Yeah.
like you almost might want a leaderboard. But then it's like, how do you distinguish the teams?
Right,
Yeah.
and
Like,
like
where does that come relevant? Like,
Yeah, and also it's like how good are the players too, right? That you got to make that relevant as well.
yeah, and you got to like then start. That's why if I don't know, if, Jake just gets 5 ringers, 2, 3 ringers for next year, it's like then you got to start really factoring like handicap and stuff
Yeah,
like this. This way you could pretty much just play, and it was
Right.
Still
very
good,
even.
yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know. What else about that? Nothing really.
No, not at
good.
all. It was good. I'm looking forward to it again next year.
We got to get some. We'll find some more sponsors and stuff for it or something.
The only thing that concerns me sometimes, even this year a little bit, was like, shit, what if it rains?
Yeah, that's just the luck. Like I would say.
So what,
like,
do we reschedule? Wait
No,
till
unless the
next year?
course is closed,
yeah,
you just
dude, I
play
love
in the
golfing
conditions.
in the rain.
Yeah,
man. I don't know
yeah,
about
yeah.
you
But
guys.
rained out. That's what I'm talking
Then
about.
whatever.
Like, I don't
Like
really
if
care
it's like
cold
thunderstorm
or
where they
if it's
blow
like-
the horn, then it's like, okay, you can't
Is
play.
what it
We'll
is.
get a rain check. But if it's like raining and shit, and it's like,
Or like
you can
I'm
still
down.
play.
I have
You
no
still
problem
play.
with that. 100%.
It's no different than any other like tournament, really.
Yeah.
Like no one's gonna unless
It's
like
just as long as like it's like if we get rained out, that's a bummer. You look so much forward to playing,
Yeah.
and then you get rained out. It's just like, oh,
you just come here and have a massive dart tournament. Or something like kind of
Yeah,
kidding,
yeah.
but like the backup plan would be like something kind of silly like that, where you turn this into like
you'd have to make like 3 games. One of them being darts, maybe one ping pong. Get a ping pong
yeah.
table
What
and a
else could
foosball
you
ta-
play? Yeah,
table.
yeah.
Those 3 and just go nuts.
Yeah, it would be funny, but it wouldn't replace it. But it'd be
No.
funny. At least you do something. I don't know what else happened this week. Nothing. I got the gym office came in here. Someone came in here.
Story
Tournament.
stuff. Tournament.
Olympics are done, right?
Olympics are done.
Yeah.
You see that?
Tom Cruise jumping off the.
See the woman boxer one. We were talking about last week.
Oh yes,
1 gold.
1 gold. Yeah.
I didn't watch. Like when was the closing ceremony?
Sunday.
Yeah, I didn't watch any of it.
Sunday. Sunday was the closing ceremony. It was like long. I didn't. I only caught a glimpse of it.
Yeah, I did.
I'm just ready for football season now.
Oh, yeah.
I had my draft.
Nice.
Fantasy draft. You play fantasy or no?
Actually,
Nah, I'm
what's-
not a big
speaking of that,
fantasy guy,
Yeah.
but
Thursday.
What's up?
That's a good thing you reminded me. One of the members is doing their fantasy draft
Here.
up here.
Oh no way!
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Why are you? Or you were here? When
no, he was telling me about
Yeah.
it. So
He's doing his
Who's
fantasy
doing it?
draft. Just well, you probably wouldn't. He's usually here.
Caleb, he's usually
Caleb,
here
yeah.
around like
I know
5
Caleb.
o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
Lions
doing-
Lions
Yeah,
fan.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
good,
Doing
good
his,
guy.
yeah.
Yeah.
He's moving. He's going back to school or something in Windsor, so he's
Yeah.
done at the end of the month. But he's having his like
Yeah.
guys fantasy
Yeah.
up here on Thursday.
I had
night.
mine on Sunday.
Really?
Yeah.
So yeah, the 16th. So third. No, Friday. Friday. Yeah.
Friday.
So
Yeah. No, that was awesome.
yeah, I don't know. You got anything else going on?
Not really, no.
Are you competing anytime too soon?
November 2nd.
November?
I got that coming up, so 10-ish weeks. So then, so.
And what?
Nice hat. I didn't even clue into
events?
that hat.
I never got the hat, dude.
What?
Yeah.
No, like I had the I gotta talk to Randy. Actually, he
Yeah,
probably
Randy
has
probably has
like
two of them.
Two of them.
Stole yours.
Yeah,
That makes sense.
yeah.
Randy gave me a thank you, and he gave me a hat, so that's probably yours.
Seriously?
No, I'm just kidding.
I remember,
Oh,
like Jake also is like, because I thought we are gonna do the shots this year too when we had those two
Yeah.
shots and the baggie or whatever. So and then I was like to Jake, I was like, hey, where's the? He's like, Ian didn't give you a blue bag, and I was like, no, man, he didn't. He's like, fucking Ian.
Yeah, I did. First of
But
all.
then you did because I clued in. It was like, yeah, it's the actual just goodie bag,
Yeah.
right? So I did get that, but I don't actually have it because Randy
not
has
my
it.
fault.
Yeah.
And next year we'll go, same like white shirts or whatever, and then we'll have like just a little subtle number, and then we'll have a captain and two assistants.
That would be sick. And you know what we should do though? If we do end up getting shirts, or like maybe we'll just keep a shirt, we should actually
No, I'll
mark
get new
how
ones.
many wins we
Wins?
have with
Yeah.
stars.
Like the year,
Yeah, year and just
like the flags. I should
yes.
get like flag, you know, like
Yes.
that style on
Yeah.
it. Yeah.
And just have literally just like, all right, we got this many.
That's a
right?
good
So
idea.
that's-
Show it off.
yeah,
Yeah,
hell yeah.
yeah.
No, we'll get new shirts and everything next year.
Yeah, that's gonna be good. Yeah, so compete in November, eh?
November 2nd.
And what's the event?
Powerlifting, so just squat, bench, deadlift, the three.
That's all it is.
That's it.
Does anyone else here do that same one or anything?
Andrew's doing the same comp, but he's just doing bench,
Yeah.
so bench only.
So how does it work regarding
That's how it is.
how it is like
Yeah.
age?
Yeah,
weight, what is
there's
it,
age
like, how's-
groups, weight
yeah, group.
classes.
Okay.
So, yeah, I'm still a junior, under 24. So,
Is anyone else not just like there's none of like any of the I don't know. Is there
no
anyone
one else, not that I know of.
I don't even know who else it would be.
But yeah, no.
So how does the prep go? Like how does it work? When do you like start to dial in? I guess.
Probably, yeah, now probably have been, especially like the last 3 months, you're really
Okay.
dialed into it, you know,
And then everything regarding diet,
100%.
everything, eh?
Where is it?
Out in Toronto,
Oh,
Okay.
sick.
Tobaco, I think. So,
Nice.
it should be good, man. I'm excited
Yeah.
for it.
Yeah,
Sick.
That's awesome. Good luck.
What are you doing?
Thank you.
What are we running a half a marathon?
No,
in
actually,
October?
speaking of which, I got to follow up because I think it's sold out.
Seriously?
Oh yeah, seriously, I'm super bummed. Vandy was telling me. Remember, he's like,
Oh, that's
so
right.
I might be able to snag a spot with that. But now Christian was like, you know, what are the chances that you do the full? And I'm like, dude, I don't know, maybe. But
Don't
I
be
got to
silly.
I got to check because he told me that he went to go register and it was sold out.
Aren't they? Didn't Aldo just post one that they're doing
That's
this
that one.
weekend? No, there's like this weekend one on I think the Toronto Island or something. I have no idea. He posted.
Is it a
something.
run or a triathlon?
Oh, it is
Might
a
be a
triathlon.
sprint.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
short
a
one, yeah.
short one. Yes, you're right. That's right. Yeah, Aldo's killing it right now.
We got to get him on here. He'd be a good guest.
Yes, let's do that.
Yeah, I will actually. I'll talk to him.
Yeah.
I talked to Mikey downstairs. I was like, "Yo, what are you doing in 30 minutes?" He's like, "I got to go home and cook and stuff." But
We'll have Mikey on sometime too.
anyone.
Yeah.
All right. Anything else? Nothing.
No, that's it.
I'm good. Yeah.
Until next year.
Yeah.
You want to play around the darts before we leave? Or you gotta go. We'll do the cricket.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Okay. Peace.
Cool.